We are here, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
I was going to say this anyway. I wanted
episode.
to. This is an emergency episode.
Emergency episode.
You didn't even start with a rap. I wanted to talk about the rap too. I said I didn't even start with a rap. We just said it's an emergency, so we need to tell them why. I want to.
There's a lot going on. This is man.
So first, the reason why we are not at Studio 26 right now is because Tony lied to us back in the day when they said that it never rains in Southern California. It absolutely does. I was a victim of said rain and I got sick. That was a sniffle. So we couldn't shoot on Monday. I wasn't feeling too good. And then we were going to just wait. We had one of the episodes banked. We still got the Kiara episode that we still haven't dropped yet. And we were going to drop that. But before we could drop that, Shay Shay dropped another bomb on the world. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the video, Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, they dropped an interview with Monique. And let me just check so I can see the real-time numbers. I want a video 24 hours already at 5 million views. So we were just like, we can't wait. Here's
the thing, though, boy. It shouldn't even be called what it is. It should be called Club Stray because a lot of people got shot. A lot of people caught a stray. And they keep catching stray. Stray. Club Stray.
People that was just watching it. People that was just watching it with their mouth open and having a good time. Bow, you too could get it. It's so much to unpack. I think it's at like 5 million views already.
And of course, we're talking about Monique, legendary queen of comedy and just queen in general. And shout out to her husband, Sydney, who is also her manager.
Yes. Let's just hop straight into it. Normally we do small talk. We talk about our weekends.
This is an emergency episode. We don't have time for all of that. And here's the thing. As we get into this, I want to say this, man. This is our last time doing this because I don't like.
This is the last time.
Listen, man.
What's wrong with this? I figured I'm saving you a trip from over the hill.
Oh, I'm not talking about trip wise. I'm not even talking about
emergency. You talk about emergency.
I'm talking about covering things like this because listen, let me say this. I don't want our show to become that type of show because what happens when you don't have a salacious piece of content to discuss, then people lose the interest and the intrigue. Yes, the views will go and that's great, but that's not it's kind of like your grandma would say, all money ain't good money. Right?
Come on now.
All views ain't good views, and I don't want this to become us. And I was gonna say that to you. So we're gonna talk about this because one, I do love Shannon Sharp and I love Monique. We can discuss this, but I don't want to make a habit of us speaking about salaciousness.
First off, great usage of the word salaciousness.
I appreciate that. I did that.
Great placement. Great placement.
I didn't know if you was gonna catch that. Yeah,
and I mean, bro, I absolutely agree with you on that. And shout out to you, you know what I'm saying, for even leading with that. And you know what I'm saying, just integrity. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just, man, not being part of just that. Like, you know what I mean? And you and I have already talked to where we don't want our podcast anyway to be topical because those get stale and they don't have, you're not
rewatch value.
Yeah, you're not gonna be talking about this 2 years from now. Like, you know what I'm saying? To whereas if we just have classic moments when we're just talking about our lives or things that we're going through, and you know what I'm saying, that's what I think, the fans resonate with.
I love, and shout out to the fans of the Just Us League.
Love you.
We love you guys. I love that when I read a lot of the comments have said, yo, I've been binging old episodes. I love this. I love that. I'm so glad you guys are back. And that to me is because we have evergreen content that we are discussing.
That you could just watch.
Yeah.
You know what? And it's funny as you bring that up, man. I haven't, because you had said it when you had came to the studio and I thought about it and I went to the video and I almost clicked on it. But I still wasn't ready. We still got, no, not nothing like that. But no, it's one of the last interviews with Teddy. And it was such a good interview with Teddy Ray. And I remember us laughing so much and having so much fun.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right with the evergreen stuff. So, yeah, we're definitely
it was 2 parts.
It definitely was. Shout out, rest in peace to my brother,
man.
Teddy Ray.
Teddy Ray is forever little brother. I love that boy.
Yes, love him. But yes, so yes, to the fans, yes, we will definitely not become that podcast, or at the very minimum, if we do have to, talk about stuff like that, we'll just drop bonus episodes and put them on Patreon, because we don't want that for the. Because I don't want to just, be known as those guys. But at the same time, sometimes people might want to know what our take is, and that
and I give you this. Take. Absolutely, and I'll give you this. A lot of time when we do, you have to be careful of doing things like this, because we will run into these people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
I'm not worried about running into I think we had a conversation about, like, let's say like Nikki or Meg. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about running into them, because I'm fans of them both, and I didn't say anything crazy. But if we were to talk crazy about, let's just say
one of the
Tyrese.
OGs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna run into Tyrese in LA.
And it's crazy, because the longer you live in LA, the more you will randomly bump into famous people in just random places, and it just seems more and more normal. Like,
do you know I ran into Viola Davis at a Whole Foods a couple of months ago, bro?
What was Viola Davis doing at Whole Foods?
She lives in the area of the Whole Foods. So it was like, they were telling me, like, she's in here all the time. I'm like, oh yeah.
Did you say anything? They're like, did you stop her?
Hell yeah. I was like, I looked at her. And as I locked eyes with her, she had that look like she just got off set and it's been a long day.
Like, not right now. She gave you the not right now look?
She didn't give me the not right now look. She gave me the, are we about to do this? And I gave her the
stall you out.
She was
stall you out, fam.
And then we were good.
I had a moment like that, because I never want to, like, approach people especially if they're with their family.
Yeah.
And all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, if I'm a fan, like, and I'll just be like, man, I'm not gonna have. I live by that. Like, I may not have this moment again.
I understand.
So it's a brother by that. It's brother by the name. He's a rapper. His name is Freddie Gibbs.
Oh,
dope dude, right? And
he was on Power last season.
Yeah, and so he's like the dope lyricist, like one of my favorite rappers, like super dope. And one of my favorite records in the world is a song called 20 Karat Jesus. You have to listen to this record. I'll send it to you. Okay. It'll slap in your whip. But in any event. So I literally, and it's a special record to me, because in my weight loss journey, I listen to music when I work out, and I've probably listened to that song more than any other song. It's just one of my favorite songs. I just love it. Long story short, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say maybe it was 2018. I was with a couple of friends, and we were at Nas's restaurant, because Nas has a restaurant in LA, like
I didn't know.
Soul food restaurant. At least he did. I don't know if he still does.
Really?
Yes. And so I remember sitting down, and he walks in with his family, and I was like, OMG, that's Freddie Gibbs. And I know
what you did not say. You better not have said OMG.
No, I said OMG.
OMG, Freddie Gibbs.
And so I was literally, and I was sitting there with the homies, and I was just like, should I say something? It was just like, I don't know. And I was just like, I literally contemplated it, but like you, I was just like, nah, I ain't going out like that. Like,
Holy soul food, Freddie Gibbs.
Holy soul
food, it's Freddie Gibbs.
Jumping jambalaya.
Jumping jambalaya, it's Freddie Gibbs.
I couldn't do it though. Like, so you know what I'm saying? So I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't say nothing to him, but Freddie Gibbs, if you're out there.
Well, here's the thing. They're in a restaurant. Did he walk in and he had children with him, like his children?
I think it was a couple of kids, and it looked like maybe his mom, his girl. So it felt like a family dinner. Like, what I look like? Hey, man, I'm dope. I like that one song you did.
Is it called Sweet Chick?
What? Yes.
Nas's restaurant.
Yeah. That's the name of the place. You should go. It's still open?
Yeah, it's still open. It's on Fairfax.
Yes, food's fire.
Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah. I didn't even know he had I will support that, brother.
Definitely, yeah. Shout out to Nas, friend of the potty.
Yeah, it's we're not calling it when you say friend of the potty, it's like the toilet, the potty.
No, it's just it's abbreviated word for podcast. No, potty. No. So like, it's what the young kids are saying, man. It's all the rave. It's the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees.
All right, so before we jump into this salacious topic, because we do have to talk about our real life at least a little bit. How was your weekend? I was sick.
You know what's funny? Let's get into you being sick.
Yeah.
So Those of you guys who know, who are subscribed to my Patreon, you guys get the episodes before everybody. And now, did you create the Patreon, Doughboy?
Haven't created it yet. I was sick. I was on sick.
Crazy. You know what's crazy about you being sick is we said create it before you got sick. Anyway, so definitely said that. So yeah, so you guys get the episodes before they come out. However, the day that we record, I hit Doughboy the night before, like right before I'm about to go to sleep, like, hey, just making sure, see you tomorrow at this time. And I wake up to a text, hey, I'm sick, man.
First of all,
it's crazy. And that's how I read it. That's how I read your voice. And I was like, oh man. He was like, yeah, but hey, we could use the Kiara episode, which I can't wait to use this damn episode because you keep mentioning it. And then you're like, yeah, or we could shoot tomorrow. And I was like, nah, man, you sick. Let's not. So this Monique thing happens yesterday, Club Stray. And then he calls me and he's like, hey, we got to talk about this like immediately. I don't even want to wait no time. We got to talk. And I wanted to say what I said at the beginning of the episode, but I was like, you know what? Let me stall him out. He's excited about this. I never want to take anybody's excitement away. Let's just do the episode. And he was like, yeah, we can do it in the studio. I said, bro, you're still sick. He was like, no, I'm not sick no more. I was like, I can hear the mucus in your throat.
No, man.
He's like, no, I ain't even shook like that. I'm like, what is like that? He's still sick. I can hear it in his voice now. So go ahead.
Nah, but I have a thing, and I believe this to be true. I don't know if you have this. I don't know if other people have this, but I believe it to be true about myself. If I go through inclement changes of weather really quickly, I'll get sick. I don't know what that's about. Like, I'll just get a cold. Like, it's just random. Like, if it just it was normally like sunny and everything, and then all of a sudden it's raining like super hard, then I'll get a cold. Like if I go out of town and like, we live in California, so if I go out of town and it's like super crazy weather over there, I'll come back and then I have a cold. So I had a cold, man, and it wasn't nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? Just, pounded the emergency and, got some soup and stuff, slept for a couple days, which was very chill. Like, you ever did you do that? Did you have any like cuddle time during the rain? Isn't this something very therapeutic? Like just being in bed, and you hear the rain just dumping, and you're just like, but it's warm in here.
I can't stop the rain. Yeah, Tange and I always like cuddle up and watch TV.
It's so cool, right? That you can find what I tried to watch, and I was like, yo, Survivors of the Snow. Have you seen that on Netflix?
No. What's that about?
It's about the Donner Party. It was a movie way back in the day called Alive. Did you watch the movie back in the day?
No, I heard about it though. They ate each other, right?
Yeah. So they remade it on Netflix. Man, when I tell you because we watched the movie back in the 80s, so it was technology like that. So the actual crash wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
When you watch the crash scene, it was. I was like, okay, I'm out. I tapped out.
So they were eating people in this movie.
I didn't even get to the barbecue. I was like,
barbecue.
I was like, fam, I'm not doing this. Just based on the crash, I was like, they are gonna be going wild in this. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was a lot. So I was just in the bed, you know what I'm saying, and just just alone with my thoughts, man. This single stuff is kicking my butt, dog.
Well, you've been doing great.
Yeah.
When you've had enough, you'll start dating somebody.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But really sucks when you're sick and you ain't got nobody to take care of your
that. I've heard about that. I've heard about that.
Oh,
I remember a point in time that happened. I think I was like, the last time I was single, I was 22. So yeah, I remember that.
Wow, you've really been in this relationship. Wow, that's so. Most of your adult life has been engulfed in relationship.
In this relationship, yeah, man. I have been with her since I was 23. Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
What's funny? Honestly, I mean, I'm very grateful. It's a great thing to be a part of, but I always have this this envy toward people like you who are able to have these dating apps, right? Like when I got with her, dating apps weren't a thing. Right. So now it's become so microwavably easy where you could just look at your phone and just swipe on whoever you're attracted to and vice versa.
You would think so. Mm-hmm. You would think that is it. Yeah. It's probably the most mind-boggling terrible thing to be in, and just be happy that you're out of these streets. It's nothing here.
Ain't nothing there?
It's nothing there. No, nothing here. No, at all. Okay. And the dating sites, I mean, they're just, I mean, we live in a society where we have such a short attention span.
Yeah.
So really, it's like you're trying, you're vying from someone's attention on an app. Right. And you literally have the split second of the first picture that they see of you.
Yeah.
If they're even going to give you a shot. So now you're just, you're super paranoid on, can I get the perfect picture? Can I get attracted? Can I get somebody in here? And then, it's just really tough in getting to know people. I mean, then even with somebody like me, just to have somewhat of a public profile, and then it's just like, I
was about to say that. Like, I was listening to you and I was like, well, I'm popular, so I don't know if I would have a bad experience. Like, I think
no, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, even when you're on there, people be like, this ain't really you. Be like, no, it is. Like, and then it's just like, you don't really know who you're dealing with, on the other end of this. And some of this stuff is just hoes parading, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just women looking for dating like that. So it's just,
what would you do if you swiped on a girl and she swiped on you and y'all met up for the date and y'all were having a great time, and then she's like, oh, by the way, I'm married, and you'd be like, right? And then she's like, there's more. My husband is right there. He just really wanted to meet you and we didn't have another way to do this. What would you do? He's a fando boy. He saw you and said, OMG.
I'd be flattered, but that'd be wild. Yo, but let me tell you a similar story that I have happened, right? This happened a couple years ago, right? On the road, right? So doing a show, whatever. Meet a young lady, whatever, right? And so we chilling, like it's cool. Like, everybody's having a good time. Like, what I'm saying? Cool. So I'm like, I'm about to go back to the hotel. She's like, well, I might come with you.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool, pull up. So we just chilling. Nothing's even, a month. And I kind of knew, like, early on, like, all right, there ain't nothing probably finna happen. But we can, talk. I'll order some food. We'll chill.
Okay.
So chilling, I get a text. And then, like, I see it from a number that I don't even recognize the area code.
Yep.
And then she get a text at the same time. And I don't know if it was the same thing. I look at the text. And it said, y'all both dead. I was just like, I look at her like, do you know this number? She's like, oh my God, that's my husband. I was just like, your husband? You didn't want to lead with that? And I guess she had left like her tablet on. So me and her had been texting.
Oh, I was wondering how you got
back and forth. And I guess he had her tablet and he was just seeing the whole conversation. And then, like, because I had put the address to where I'm at. I'm like, do I need to leave?
Thank God it was just your hotel. You could switch rooms.
Right.
But to have, if that was
and
your
she was like,
place,
I'm just going to go. I was like, you think?
You think?
And then she tried to clean it all up to like, we've been separated, the divorce. That's always when you're dealing with some BS when they hit you with the, we divorced, it just ain't fine. Or come when the paperwork right.
Who's the holdup is what you need to ask on the finalization.
Exactly.
Like him, then y'all ain't broke up. If he's the holdup, y'all
broke up with
together.
him, but he ain't broke up with you. That's why
he ain't broke up with you. You know what was heartbreaking about this whole thing?
What's that?
Is we've been having a great time for almost 20 minutes, and there's gonna be somebody in the comments that says Monique 22-27,
and that's just for them, and that's fine. But
cold,
I just love
the real one's gonna watch the whole thing.
The real one's gonna watch that, get that good, conversation, and understand that we're just not here for the salacious topics. But since it has come up time and time again, without further ado, so Shannon Sharp drops an explosive interview.
Love Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, I love him. And he drops a interview, very much reminiscent of kind of how Cat kind of came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cat kind of came out and was just telling his truth and I don't want to say exposing people, because it's saying exposing people is confirming what he's saying is true, but in his, at least to him, he's exposing people for some truths. Like, you know what I mean? He's telling his truth. So now she comes out and she had a big list of people to talk about. And I want to go through this. This is cool. You're at home. I'm here at the studio. We got a little bit of time. I want to go through. I want to dig through this a little bit.
You're at the studio?
I'm at the studio. Yeah.
You have no regard for getting people sick.
I'm not sick anymore.
What makes you think that? You're not fine.
Tell me I'm fine at once. Nah, but I took heck of emergency and the sniffles have subsided. So
is that what you think cures a cold? That's very interesting, man.
I mean, it's been like 4 days. I mean, come on, you got it. I mean, when you get sick, would you sit down for a week and a half? Let's shut up. Anyway, so back to it. So, all right. So when she comes out the gate, like, so I mean, I don't have to go in sequential order of what she went through.
Say what's on your mind.
All right. So she comes at Tyler Perry. Let's start there. Not only does she, now this has been something that's not new. She has been saying that Tyler Perry blackballed her. She's been saying Oprah blackballed her for over a decade. So this isn't anything new. But this was an added layer that we didn't have before. Apparently, she has a recording of Tyler Perry apologizing for blackballing her. And she took said recording and she let Shannon Sharpe hear it. They didn't play it. They might have got the brakes sued off of them if they would have done that. But they played it. No, they didn't play it. They didn't play it, but they talked about it. She played it for him. He confirmed it exists.
It's almost like Zack Snyder with the Justice League. It's like, drop the Snyder cut, fam.
Exactly. Like, let us. I think as far as being vindicated, dropping this would have, like, even if you drop it anonymously, like, if there is a documented conversation of this man apologizing to you and you know this to be true, I would have dropped it as soon as I got my hands on it. Just, I don't know where that came from.
Well, then people would know where they got their hands from. Here's the thing that I wanted to discuss about that tape, number one. Okay. Well, not about the tape, but about what you just said. You said that she'd allegedly been blackballed for 12 years. It's not allegedly. This sister is someone that I and everybody who's ever heard me give the answer to who are my top 5 favorite comedians of all time or who's on my Mount Rushmore when I have to drop it to 4 instead of the 5, Monique is always on my list. Word. And it's about personal preference. Yeah. Okay. The way you feel about Nicki Minaj and Drake is I have a level of love for Monique that's crazy. Gotcha. I have always thought Monique was hilarious, and it goes to personal taste with comedy. So, and even beyond that, she's just universally hilarious, but I've always loved Monique. Monique is someone that, and it was so funny hearing her in the interview say to Shannon when she was like, oh, I'm like your sister, right? Oh, I'm like your aunt. I'm like your mother, like these people. If you see me like that, then hold me down, like represent me. And I'm like, that is so real, because for so many times we'll see a black woman and say, oh, you're like this to me, or I see you like that. And we don't look out for them. Right. And I say we, because we can always do more. No matter what you do, you can always be doing more. And it hurt me to see that this queen has not been as visible as she should have been for the past 12 years. And when we talk about 12 years, we're talking about a sentence of time. There are people who go to prison for an amount of time. We look at Chappelle. Chappelle was gone from the public eye for 10 about a decade as well. And his thing was different than Monique's, but at the same time, it's still a form of something similar. So when you think of time and you think of life, you're thinking about Monique. If she said 12 years, she was 44 when the blackball began, and that's her prime. Well, first of all, you are 44. Well, I didn't bring it up because a lot you said don't bring it up.
You were stalling me out. You were stalling me out. You was letting me breathe.
I was like, breathe. But this is a time where it's part of being in your prime, and for someone to be able to say something and take that working away from you hurts. Anytime that you're not able to feed your family to the ability that you want to feed your family because of a lie or because someone said something
or a rumor,
you know, that sucks.
And that's That's the hurtful thing. I can definitely, it resonates with me what she's going through. Like, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? To have opportunities taken away from you for something that has nothing to do with how you do your job is crazy to me.
And just about a lie. When people lie
on
you, bro,
a lie or a rumor, like, you know what I'm saying? And just
a lie damages you way more than
way
anything.
more. Like, your reputation talks about you before you even walk in the room. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's
and you
just
can't
like,
tell everybody in the room, hey, everybody, it's a lie. It's a lie.
Don't believe it.
No,
Don't believe
it's
it.
not.
You try to, and people don't understand that, and it's
Yeah.
so damning, and it's, so. But so that's the thing, though. So even when you say, because I said that she said that, and I said that she has been saying this for a long time. So I am saying that she's been saying it, but but there is no concrete, tangible way, at least to me, or maybe the general public's eye, to be able to confirm what she was saying. She was saying something. It's like, okay, he never responded.
Well, he didn't. But Lee Daniels came out on stage like that, and that happened a couple years ago.
So now, and I think that's where we're starting to get to and then you hear that Netflix settled with her, and Netflix got crazy money. Netflix can bleed you out in court all day, like, you know what I mean? Like, so for them to settle with her, it's something. There had to be some validity to it. But let's just go back to the Tyler Perry thing. If it's true, this is the thing that makes this really, really difficult for me, right? People say what they want to say about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is always the topic of discussion, right? But most of the time, it's about what people feel about his content. You know what I mean? And I don't like it, and it's whatever they feel about it. I've always taken the stance of, I don't care how you feel about his content. I look up to the man as an idol for what he's done, for how he took his own vision, how he created it, how he created his own movie studio. Like, to me, that's admirable. As far as his art, that's subjective, whatever you might like. So I don't really get into the weeds of if I like it, if I don't like, whatever. That's whoever, people like whatever. But just to see somebody take their vision out of their brain and to do what he did on his own terms and his own rules is very inspiring to me. I mean, I opened up my own studio watching people like a Tyler Perry do his thing. Now, if it comes out to be true, and it's starting to feel like it is, I can't say I wasn't there. I don't know. But if it is confirmed that this black man, in the most powerful position that he is in, because no matter what you say, Tyler Perry is a big dog in Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? If he did that, that is just so earth-shatteringly sad to look at somebody that I looked up to so much to know that he did that. And then my heart bleeds so much more that it happened to Monique. And not only that it happened to her, but that it happened, and for however many years, nobody even believed her. It just makes it 10 times worse. So how do you even quantify that? Because I feel like a lot of times, a lot of our heroes are getting destroyed in front of our eyes for different reasons. And it's like, if this is true about Tyler Perry, I can't look at him the same, because it's like, I can't respect it anymore. Like, I just, and maybe I'm wrong for that. And maybe I need to do more research, and maybe I need to gather more data. But it's like, if she got you on tape apologizing for doing it, and I don't know because I ain't heard the tape, I don't know, man. It's like you get killed twice with the same bullet. It's just like, damn. It's just like, now it's like you look at Tyler different, and then you just feel terrible because no matter what, you can't give that woman her time back. And
you can't give her time back. I think that nobody asks us to place them on pedestals. I will say that Monique didn't ask to be in my top 5. Monique didn't ask to be on my Mount Rushmore. Tyler Perry didn't ask to be a hero to a bunch of people. Tyler Perry did what he felt in his heart, as far as going for his career and following his dreams, right? And a byproduct of those things where people begin to respect, admire, admonish, and place you on top of a pedestal.
Right.
That's just what happens. It's the same reason rappers are like, I ain't no role model. It's like, right. But you are. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though you didn't ask for this, you became one. So I feel badly for Monique, because it's not that people didn't believe her. That's the thing that I think that you're wrong about. People listened. People knew. But the people who did know and listen did nothing about it when they had the information. It's like when you we all hate watching slave movies, right? We hate watching slave movies because we each know how it's going to end. It's going to end with, even if this one slave gets away, we know what ended up happening because we know the history, right? So when you watch it, you're like, okay, this person is going to get beat, and then this is going to happen, and they're going to try and, have an uprising, and they're going to be put back into their place. Knowing that is the result of the movie, when you see this thing happen in real life, you're like, man, this is the exact same thing. You're going to watch this sister get beat, and nobody's going to do anything to help change this. And it sucks because, like she said, you see it's happening to her today, is you tomorrow. Then what? You're not going to care about it until it's happening to you.
And that's just the, it's just like I don't know how to frame it in a way to make it to where moving forward it makes sense, because it's like I'm pretty sure there's other blackballings going on as we speak, and you know what I'm saying. And so it's just like, to know, I don't know. It just hits a different type of nerve for me. And that what she was saying too. She was like, they were like, well, what would it take, for you to call off this office? She was like, I want some money, because it's like this probably cost her in the ballpark of $20-25 million if you're doing the math, like over that time. And it might have been more. Like, she was cracking in a way.
She said $3 million a year at that point. So she was making $3 million a year. 3 million times 12 years is 336 million.
Wow, that's great math on you. Look at you. It's great math. Man. Even with the thing with, like, she was more, well, is more than, like, she had a talk show, she had a sitcom, she had stand-up, she has movies. Wait. Like, yeah, she had the Monique show.
No, I'm not. Come on. I just said I'm one of her biggest fans. I said, I know. I'm just making sure I did the math right.
I didn't even check it. I was just like, hey, man, good math.
Oh, well, no. Would it be
3 million?
Yeah, it's 36 million, but it's like, would it be 360?
Oh, I know. You were absolutely wrong. If it was 3 million a year for 12 years,
that's 36 million.
Yeah, I just let you go.
I get the 100.
Sorry to the fans. He threw the number out. I didn't want to pull his card.
Well, first of all, you can't get props. I corrected myself, but I'm trying to make sure.
Where'd you get 336? You added 300. It's a lot of.
Well, let me also add, I've never claimed to be great at math. I've always said I'm good at English guy.
I'm good at, like, the basic math, and I used to count letters and words as like a hobby.
Oh, no. That's why I messed up. Everybody, the comments are gonna be crazy. The reason that I thought 336 million is because I was thinking about, also, I merged this with the Parkers netting over 800.
Yeah, she did say that.
800. Like, it's worth almost $1 billion.
That was crazy.
$2 billion. So I was like, so 336. That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry, guys.
She was also talking about her treatment on the Parkers. That was heartbreaking. She was a lead on a sitcom and having to walk to set.
Okay.
Well, to her part, like,
you have to say.
Not walk to set, like, from her house. I mean, obviously, but she was supposed to have her own spot. She's the lead of a sitcom.
And she was parking on the street because they told her Parker's parking is over here. She didn't know that she had a space. But also, a lot of stuff, ignorance is bliss, because you don't know to ask, and you don't know what you don't know. But also, a lot of things are, why are people not asking her, hey, where are you parked? When are you coming in? We're going to have somebody escort you to set. Like, these things should be handled for her. Also, if you're her agent, when she's like, the agents should always want to try and get you more money. Yes, they're comfortable getting the money that you're giving them, the 15 or 10%, but why would you not preempt her to renegotiate her contract after each other season? Hey, you should be getting more money. Why had nobody in 110 episodes said to this woman, hey, we need to get you to do this, we need to get you to do that? And the answer to that is because when you don't have a great team, they're happy just getting what they get, and they don't want to rock the boat because they don't want to. They're already sitting and getting paid to do nothing. Why are they doing nothing? Because even Monique said in her story, my agent got a call about this spinoff thing or this Moesha thing. I came to set. I wasn't going to audition. I say, this is who I am. I get the show. I did not audition for anything except for a commercial about Domino's or some kind of pizza thing back in my hometown. So your agent didn't even really do anything to help you get this role. You went in there and did your thing and got this role. It wasn't like they had you audition and a call back and we're negotiating this contract. They literally sat back and did nothing while she was on the road. On this show for 5 years.
No, I get that, but I mean, and I don't know, like it's either like if what she is saying is true, and I'm not saying that it's not, then this what we think is happening in Hollywood and the treatment of people must be a lot worse than we really understand. And that's saying a lot because you and I are actually, in this, to some extent. To be a lead on a show, it just seems comical for somebody to not be like, oh, this is where you park. Like, to me, that's just, I like, what? Like, I could see if she was a day player or a recurring. This is her show. Like, to even think that she would be allotted a parking spot, but somebody wouldn't have the common sense to tell her to park there just seems like, if this is true, then it's really bad. But either she's speaking in a little bit of hyperbole or this is really bad.
That's what I'm telling you, man. I don't want to gloss over this because, first of all, shout out to Monique for even sharing that with us.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of people who are watching this do not know how the business really works. They go off of these podcasts, which we happen to be on, and they go off of what people say, and that's how they create. Yeah, such as the Illuminati. Such as doing that. Yeah. They don't, because they're not informed. Let me say this: the Parkers was on UPN before it was the CW. Okay, before it became the CW, the WB was also a thing. Now the WB and UPN housed some amazing black sitcoms.
Wayans Brothers,
the whole nine. Jamie Foxx Show, Wayans Brothers. List goes on. For Your Love, I could go on for days. Girlfriends was on UPN, then the CW.
Yeah,
the CW and UPN were not like Fox, NBC, CBS. They were not big budgeted like this. Okay,
right.
So they did not have the budget to give any sitcom star the $1 million that NBC was giving Friends.
Exactly. Okay.
Right. Gotcha. So when you have a smaller network like the UPN and the WB, who's still a subsidiary of a big studio company, they're not giving them the budget that they have. And with you not giving them the budget that they have, you don't have the people who are paying attention to the little things like that. You don't have somebody saying, hey, we need to let's get a call for Monique, let's send her a car.
The PAs.
Let's get this. Well, no, you got the PAs, but you don't have.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like when you go on NBC's lot and you're even doing a guest star.
Yeah.
You're being talked to each step of the way by a PA or by the assistant director or whoever they put in charge, the production coordinator, I should say. And that's who's in charge of the people. So it's like, hey, we're looking forward to having you tomorrow. All right, great. Can't wait to be there. Yep. What time are you coming in? I want to make sure things are good for you. Is there anything that you want to eat? Anything you want to drink? Where'd you park? Or where are you? Here, we got a space right out here for you. We want you to park in a lot. Here's the directions for the map for you to come into the lot for the cast, compared to the lot for the day players and the extras or people who are in the audience, right? So when you have that, that's the difference. Not to say that these shows weren't shot on these lots that are big budgeted, but I'm saying when there's a black show, they always give us the least compared to our white counterparts.
Right. Okay. So yeah. All right. No, I definitely understand that, and that makes sense to me. Especially when you especially when you break it down like that. Let me ask you this, because she really went into detail about Oprah as well, and the whole Oprah part was
Oprah been catching it for some years, boy. Everybody.
I ain't gonna lie. I got emotional on the Oprah part.
What happened?
Because it was like this was her hero.
Yep.
And I mean, I could just metaphorically say it like this. Like, everybody knows my biggest inspiration as far as like people who are in entertainment, Jamie Foxx. That would be like if, I got a chance to work with Jamie Foxx and then that, I'd be like, I wouldn't know what to, you know what I'm saying? And I understand the thing about putting people on pedestals, but it's different when you, like, I thought that I could do comedy because I seen Jamie Foxx do Straight Out the Foxhole, and he did the music and I was like, well, I do and I could. So it hit me a different type of way, only imagining.
Brady Bunch, it's driving me crazy to think that Miss Brady.
No, I think that's from
I Might Need Security. That was my favorite special.
I'm talking about the Mary Crack Contrary. How does it go and grow? Man, I'm telling you, man. Shout out to Jamie Foxx, but
shout out to Fox.
But no, so like with the Oprah thing, and like, how many people are gonna have to come out about Oprah before we finally start being like, man, Oprah? I don't know, because Oprah is a person that I've looked up to. So that's what I do want to make crystal clear. This is a difficult episode for me to do because I'm fans of all these people. This is Black excellence. This is Black millionaires. This is people who made it. They're the American dream. They're people that look like us, sound like us. These are some of these people I've met. Like, so it's just really hard. And it's like almost making fans pick sides. And you know what I mean? Like, she went in on Kevin Hart. She went in on Tiffany Haddish, the D.L. Hughley. Like, she went in on a lot of people. What? Okay, but let's keep it on Oprah and Tyler.
Do you feel like in? You said a couple of people that she mentioned going in. It's similar to what Kat did. Let me finish my statement. It's similar to what Kat did, but it was a response to what these people had said about her.
Kevin Hart was a different thing. She kind of just brought that up. She was a little milder with Kevin Hart. Like, she said, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did hold me down, wrote me a check when I was in time of need. I appreciate him.
Let's start there. Start there.
Right.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
He helped me in my time of need. He wrote a check for me and my family. Mm-hmm. I also don't want to overlook that they paid that back with interest. That's dope. Yeah. However, when people do things like that, it's just out the kindness of their heart. They're not expecting it to come back. And I know how people are, and I know how social media is, and I know that detail will be lost, and it will focus on the negative side of that. And I will say, as a human being, it is so kind for someone to do something that looks out for you and your family. Let's start there. It's like I've always said, be careful how people talk about you after y'all fall out. Because if you'll talk about me crazy after we fell out, it's heartbreaking, because at one point you loved me and I loved you. So I don't talk badly about anybody who's fed me, right? I don't care if somebody was to get online or do an interview or whatever and say something crazy about me. I'm not going to get online and say something crazy in return, because that person fed me at one point in time. So it's really disheartening when anybody who's fed somebody gets spoken ill of by people and they're not defended for that. That sucks to me.
Yeah, and the fact that, like you said, he did that out of the kindness of his heart, and we never knew about this until she said it. So he never made any public thing about it. And then
most people don't when they do a gesture like that.
Right, exactly. And then she said that they talked, and he made some I don't want to say promises, but said, hey, I'm going to work with you, because he was trying to work as a caveat to. I don't know if that was the right usage of that word. Caveat? No, that might be wrong.
No,
he was trying to act as
you off though, because you didn't say 336 million.
Right. But he was trying to be the bridge between her and Tyler to get their stuff kind of fixed. And then when he went to Tyler to, to say, hey, Monique want to, squash it, da-da-da. Tyler was like, nah, I don't want to talk about this, da-da-da. So his response to Monique was, don't worry about that. We're going to leave that in the past, but you and I can do some stuff. I'll EP some stuff, executive produce it, whatever you need from me. I'm your brother. I got you. She's like, bet, say less. She goes to some people that she has some deals with or some workings with. Some things were already in the works. she go throw his name on it. Hey, Kevin Hart says he's in. Da 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 da. And then when she goes back to redeem said favor, apparently, you know what I'm saying, his people told her, like, you know, and it was even a little bit more anti-personal. Like her agent called her back, like, yeah, the company that we're working with, Kevin Hart's people said he don't want nothing to do with her. And
yeah, that's
that
the
was
thing.
Like the
and
last time they
here's
talked.
where I knew that there was more to it. When she said she called Kev and was like, "Hey, they saying you don't want nothing to do with me." He's like, "What? That's a big miscommunication. Let me see what's up." And from that, they hadn't spoken in, I think she said 2 years.
2 years.
So here's my thing with that. Compared to everything else that you're going to cover, that is something that is still open-ended because there's something else there.
Yeah.
There's something else there, meaning that's a situation that can easily be fixed. Easily. Whereas the other things I don't think are as easily fixed or understandable because, again, this brother just put his name on the line for me and helped feed me, and I can't feed is just I'm using feed as
metaphorically,
but it's like this happened over here and I got your back. Hey, let's do something, let's strive in the future, forget all that, let's go forward. All right, let's go forward. Miscommunication out here in this game, that happens all the time where people drop the ball on a phone call or whatever. I just think there's more, and that's something that could easily be fixed in comparison to the other scenarios that happen that I don't think are easily fixable.
Hey, I got no dog in the fight, but how do you explain?
I got 2 dogs in the fight.
Well, yeah, you got 2 dogs in the fight. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I will say this.
I'm trying to get you to look and realize
I am, but
you have a million dogs in all these fights, which is why we don't need to have these fights.
No. But the point, the question that I'm trying to ask is a great conversation. I love it.
Okay.
The question of what I'm trying to ask is, I can understand if Monique was blackballed by white studios. Like I can see that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, okay, bigger studios, like, I get it. But I would, I don't say assume, I would think that within black studios or just other black creators and her black peers, how do you explain why nobody worked with her for 10, 12 years? Did the black community also fall under the umbrella of the blackball? Because that's what it kind of feels like. It's like, how else do you explain that we ain't seen Monique really in 12, 13 years, like in mainstream, and like all of her friends, like, you know what I'm saying, her counterparts are doing well. And I would think not just at Kevin Hart, but just any people that's in her class could have easily said, yeah, I'm doing a movie, come hop in. Like, well, yeah, I'm doing a sitcom, or yeah, I'm going to do this, you know, special for you. Like similar to what Dave Chappelle did for, you know, Earthquake. Like I just, how did it go this long with just nothing? And it just, we didn't see her at all. So I'm just befuddled by that. Like, how did that happen? And so it almost gives a little bit of credence to what she's saying. Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
I mean, I was trying. All right. So here's the thing. I believe that, one, it goes to show how few people actually greenlight projects, right? And the good people rarely get spoken about. Like, we got to shout out 50 Cent. 50 Cent looked out.
He did. Shout out 50.
50 Cent is a green light gang. 50 Cent threw her in BMF, couple episodes, and probably doing a lot more. You know what I mean? So there are people that have extended that branch and been like, yo, you're talented. Donald Glover extended that olive branch and was working with her as well. They had done I don't know if it was a commercial series or if it was a part of a show. It was online videos that I was seeing, like promotional stuff. And I was like, oh, this is dope. So it's not everybody that it goes to show everybody doesn't have the power to green light. And it goes to show that people who are still fans of hers that wanted to work with her worked with her. And I'll add this. I really want to hear, not taking this away from true issues that have affected her, but I really want to hear some of these white names from situations that are angering people, because we're hearing a lot of names of people that we know that are recognizable and not a lot of the white people that are at fault as well with anybody's interviews. Anybody.
Because that was said too. about cats. Like he threw a bunch of brothers under the bus, and no white folks. She didn't stop with the brothers though. She had some shots for Tiffany Haddish. Did you hear those shots? Those strays?
I watched the whole interview, man, but I will say, I will say this: when it comes to Black women, you have to be very careful on what you say as a Black man, because
I'm just reacting to what's happening.
I'm not saying that you're not, and that's not what I was about to say. What I was about to say is you have to be very careful as not even just a Black man, but as a man, getting in between women's conversations. And it's something similar that I was thinking with the Meg and Nikki thing, which is like, this ain't my fight. I can't say what issues these sisters have, and it's not for me to divulge. However, please give your thoughts.
Man, listen, I probably would just be the renegade.
Do you think?
I'm gonna just say how I feel. I feel like with all things that I'm saying, like these are all company peers. I'm just reacting to what I've seen. I just thought it was a hilarious rebuttal because, like you said, it was a response.
No boy trying to get blackballed. No, I'm saying no boy trying to get blackballed now.
I'm trying to get.
No, I'm not. He's the one.
Oh no. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead,
but
I got a call.
So you got a call? No, I'm just giving my. Okay, let's have that conversation. Why do we live in a world where people just can't give their honest opinions? Like I be noticing that sometimes on the podcast too, because I do it too. It's like we walk around on such eggshells, like it's. Well, I'll say me because I don't know what you do, but sometimes with me, I walk around on eggshells because I don't want to get canceled for saying the wrong thing. I don't want to get. You know what I'm saying? Like say something and it be perceived as the wrong hot take, but it's like, damn, like I'm just reacting to two people going at each other. Like I should just be able to just say, hey, this is how I feel about it.
I'll give you my answer to your question. Why do we feel we walk around on eggshells? I definitely don't walk around on eggshells. I don't play anything safe. What you see me do is you see me think about how I want to be treated, right? I try my best to treat people how I want to be treated, especially when it comes to these podcasts, because people don't watch full episodes. They only watch clips. And that I was further reminded of that when we had the conversation about comedians who wear dresses. And I didn't give a stance whether it's okay or not okay. It was just saying what people have done and what people haven't done. And people in comments, I read a couple of comments were like, well, if you talking about it and you ain't condemning it, that means you for it. And it's like, how dumb are you? Right. Yeah. So I say that to say, I try my best to speak on people how I would want to be spoken about. And I don't think it's fair for me to condemn anybody or for me to unjustly judge anybody's position, because I've seen the negative side of popularity. I've seen the negative side of comments, and I've seen how people can toss you aside and try to act like you don't exist. And it's not a good feeling. So with knowing that, I not only choose my words carefully, but I don't have these conversations on or off camera because there's nothing that's going to uplift. That's why I'm so solution based. My solution base is this. When it comes to Tyler Perry, when it comes to Oprah, when it comes to Monique, Tyler Perry, and Oprah need to each have separate conversations privately, and they need to have a group conversation after they've had their separate conversations. Because while it is very entertaining to digest all of this information, at the end of the day, these are three juggernauts, two queens, and a king of this thing that we call entertainment that happen to be Black, not Black entertainers, but entertainers who happen to be Black. And I believe that we would serve our community even better and more successfully if we were able to heal our wounds and progressively solve the problems that have occurred over the past 12 within each other. We know that each of those three extremely gifted talents, and we do not win when we are divided.
That was very eloquent, very, very well spoken, and I don't disagree with much of what you said. At the same time, I feel on the inverse of that, is that the only reason that we're even having this conversation is because Monique was brave enough to come out and do it again on such a big platform and people listen. So if she don't do that and we're not talking about it now, what's to say that she's not going to still be dealing with an ongoing blackballing that she's clearly already been dealing with because people are settling with her, apologizing to her, doing all type of different things. Allegedly, I didn't hear the tape. But what I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying. And so I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to say Tyler Perry did this. Like I said, I ain't hear the tape. I don't know if he blackballed her. I don't know what he said. I know that that's what some people are saying. I don't know what Oprah did. Like, I don't know any of these things. All I know is that there is a woman that is saying that it is true. And I'm saying that sometimes where there is smoke, there can be fire. So I'm just like, hey, and this is just my basic reaction. It's not me coming off condemning and picking sides. That's why when I say I don't have no dog in the fight, it's like, this isn't even me. Like, I'm reacting because it's such a big thing in the culture, and it has a lot to do with what we do. I mean, we're both literally comedians. We're writers. We're in the industry. You know what I mean? But this is what I do want to say.
Before you say that part, because I don't want to say, number one, I'm not saying that Monique should be quiet. I'm not trying to silence Monique whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying overall a solution to this thing, right? Mm-hmm. And with that, I feel that Monique is so talented. There is no universe where this queen should not be on TV regularly right now. There is no universe where she shouldn't be in movies after movies. She's amazing. She has an Oscar, but even beyond Oscar, she has an Image Award. She has a BET Award. She's hosted the BET Awards 3 times back to back, or 2 times back to back. But it's like Monique, there's no reason that Monique should not be working consistently, because that's the unfortunate part of this to me, is when you get a chance to see everybody else working and you're not working and you have this God-given talent. What was the thing?
It has nothing to do with her skill or ability. This is the one thing that is really that I'm fighting with, and this is more along the lines of what you're saying, right? That I'm fighting with, like, because I'm a little bit more of a sports fan than you, so I watch a little bit more sports. So Shannon Sharpe is a dude that I see, Monday through Friday on my television screen. Like, I watch his club, Shay Shay. Not just his club, Shay Shay. I watch his nightcap with Ocho Cinco. He has one with Gil Arenas. He's on First Take with Stephen A. Like, he's really, really blowing up. Like, and it's just so great to see a guy have such a great athletic career and then turn it into like this. He'll probably make 10 times more than whatever he made playing football, and he made a lot of money playing football. So, like, it's being like said right now that he has the #1 talk show on YouTube. Like,
you know why? It's because he's going at these, and this is what I want you to see. I'm glad that you said that. Please finish. I'm sorry.
I think I'll get to that point for you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So,
do you accept my apology?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I apologize. It's all good. 50 million views. Like, it's like the biggest, and like it's breaking records, shattering records. He's blowing up more than ever. And you might not know this, but he was on another show back in the day called was it First Take? No. Undisputed with Skip Bayless. And Skip Bayless like talked to him crazy, and that's why he ended up unceremoniously leaving. So to see him leave and to build something so amazing and so cool and so dope, and to know, or to at least feel in my stomach, that it has to be at the detriment of Black people. And I don't like that. What I mean by that is the narratives. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like, okay, for all that Cat Williams expose was when he came out and said all that stuff, to me, it was just like, it felt messy. It was just like, it was him going back and forth with comedian and just airing everybody's dirty lines. And I get it, because it's your truth. I'm not here to tell you can't tell that truth. And now Monique's doing the same thing. And it's like, bro, I want you to win. But it's just like I said, when the Cap episode dropped, it's like, I wish we lived in a world where he can get them same type of results and it didn't have to feel like this. It's almost just like, I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't feel right, because then maybe I'm lame for feeling like that, and maybe I don't need to be getting in the way of the truth coming out. But it's just like, damn, man. It's like, for a brother to be going to the top like how he is, and for it to feel like it has to. Okay, maybe detriment was the wrong word. At the expense of Black people, it just felt like that, and I've been wrestling with that, and I don't know how to feel about that. What are your thoughts?
I'm glad that you finished. That's number one. My first thought is I'm glad that you finished, because I thought you were going a different way, which is the way that I would end this with. But one, what was your first episode of Club Shay Shay that you watched?
I've been watching Shay Shay for a minute, so I've been watching Club Shay Shay for over a year. So for a long, I can't tell you the
Who
first
was the
one.
guest?
Who have I watched him?
Just the first guest that you can think of that you saw.
First guest that I thought of that I can, Cedric the Entertainer.
Okay.
21 Savage was on there recently. Usher. These are all people that were
These
recent.
are recent.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of people that
over a
were
year.
for. I'm trying to think of people a long time ago, and nobody's coming to my.
Okay, great. So one of my first episodes that I saw of Club Shay Shay was the Steve Harvey episode.
Okay.
And then I watched the Cedric Entertainer episode. I saw Tabitha Brown. I saw T.I. Got a chance to see Chris Brown. I'm not sorry, not Chris Brown. I got a chance to see this was the recent one. I saw Usher, but then I saw, oh, you got Cat. I saw Country Wayne. Now we're seeing Monique.
I've seen all the recent ones, but yeah,
that's great. But my point is, I've been watching Club Shay Shay before it blew up. Right. Mm-hmm. I saw Stephen A. Smith episode. That's what I was trying to think of. Stephen A. Smith's episode was powerful. And you should go back and watch that, especially because you watch him 5 days a week, pretty much. Mm-hmm. When you watch this brother, it's not at the expense or detriment of Black people. What you're seeing are two unique episodes where these two unique guests shared their feelings and thoughts. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I will also add, this is where I thought that you were going in the beginning, where you said he's the number one show. Right. There is so much positivity that Club Shay Shay puts out and has, and it's not salacious. It's not conflict driven. And if you actually listen to Shannon Sharpe ask questions and conduct the interviews with these people, he does not guide them to say anything. What he does is he asks genuine questions from a perspective of a fan or by an onlooker. And as he's listening to them, he then drums up, well, why do you think this is? Compared to the show that Monique would not mention that is on YouTube that has not a Black man hosting it, but has a white man hosting it, that a lot of people go on and they are airing their dirty laundry and business out there, where that interviewer leads those questions in a negative manner. And that negative manner goes toward the Black community at their expense. So the difference that I see with Shannon Sharpe is Shannon Sharpe is holding genuine interviews that happen to be people giving their real thoughts, whatever those thoughts may be. He's not leading them. He's not guiding them. He's doing what a good interviewer does, which is asks a question and listens. The best interviews you can ever do are just listen and not give your full-on opinion to lead or coerce anybody into saying what you want them to say for a guided circumstance or a view or a hit. So what you're seeing now, unfortunately for Shannon Sharpe, is these two interviews have garnered so much attention for whatever reason, whether it be people who are just fans of these people or people who want salaciousness or negativity, that these are the videos that end up going extremely viral and people can't stop talking about it. However, the Usher episode is only at 1.6 million and has been out for a week. And there's nothing salacious about it. It's just a great interview. When you watch the Stephen A. Smith episode, I think it's about 2 or 3 million, but it's not as many millions as it should be, because that was an extremely positive interview about two Black men giving each other their flowers. And one Black man saying, hey man, I saw that they tried to discard you. And I said, no, not on my watch. I want him over here with me. And the fact that you watch First Take with Stephen A. Smith is another reason you should watch the interview, because you'll appreciate that even more, because it was two brothers uplifting each other and another brother saying, I see you down and I want to lift you up. And that brings me back to Monique. The reason it is so disheartening when I heard her story is because outside of 50 Cent, outside of Kevin Hart, outside of Donald Glover, why were there not more people who said, hey, I see you down, I want to uplift you? That's what hurt me. The fact that Kevin was the only person that wrote the check and said, hey, this is for you. I just want to let you know I got your back. That hurt me, because again, I just gave the example of two black men looking out, but we rarely see that happen for our queens.
No, definitely. And I want to clear something up too, because I think you helped me, realize my point. I want to go back to 2 minutes ago. When I'm saying that, I hate that it looks like his success is being predicated on the, on messiness between black people. That's not what I'm saying. What I really am saying is I hate that we live in a world. It's not even a Shannon Sharpe thing. So let's just take him out of the equation because it's not him. I hate that and I've alluded to this before. I hate that we live in a world to where we reward negativity, or at least the perceived notion of negativity. That's like you said, there's 60 million views between these two interviews. And like you said, and I'm a fan of his and I watch his podcast, and that makes me realize that I'm probably part of the problem, because I'm sitting like, yeah, I've been watching Club Shay Shay, but even in my mind, I'm like, I can't even recall some of these great moments because the negative stuff is just right here. So I just hate that negativity wins. And I just wish that 50 million views could have went to Stephen A. Smith when he was getting his flowers and they were talking about stuff, or 5 million could have went to Usher because he's about to be performing at the Super Bowl. So I just kind of wish that it was more, the world was just different in that, But
here's
regard.
The thing, man.
It's not really a Shannon Sharpe thing.
No, I get you. And I told you this the last time you brought this up. The change starts with you, bro. Yeah. It's like I told you, I'm like, whenever I read comments that aren't centered around me doing something dope, and it's like always highlighting somebody else, I had to get out of comments, because I'm like, the more I see this, the more it's going to annoy me, and that's not putting me in a positive space, even though people are meaning good for whatever person they are talking about. So the change starts with you as far as what you consume and what you choose to acknowledge, right? I choose to acknowledge that this brother has created something on his own after going into the machine and the machine saying, nah, we're done with you. We don't want you. And him saying that, you know what, I'm about to do my own thing. And that own thing blew up even better and bigger than the things he was doing before. That's what I'm happy to see. That's the change that can be an inspiration to us, right? Because neither of us are on NBC's Law and Order or CBS's FBI Most Wanted or any of these shows. So we create our own thing to do our own thing. And the way we get a chance to do that is continuing having light subjects and having fun and laughing, because that's when we're at our best. Because the moment we start turning into any of these other podcasts, we're doing ourselves a disservice, because we can get that anywhere, but we can't get.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying. And I just think, maybe future reference. I mean, if something happens, maybe we just touch on it. Maybe we just make it a thing. But I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to,
I'm going to hit you with this, though, boy. I'm going to call you bluff. What's a video online or an interview or a moment in television that you saw that was so positive that touched you in comparison to the negativity?
Like recently? Or just in life, or just
because you called me last night before I even finished the Monique episode. So what's something that you've seen that had you that excited?
Finding out that Usher was going to be performing on the Super Bowl halftime show.
You just found that out?
No, I mean, that's a dope moment, right?
When did you find it out?
About a year and a half ago.
Oh, a year and a half ago.
I don't know. Wait, okay. What's
That's
positive?
Wild.
Positive. Wait. What? I'm just trying to think of what positive video. Maybe I'm the problem.
You are the problem. That's what I'm trying to get you to realize.
Shut your mouth. How about that? Let's
start there. All you consume is negativity, and you're mad.
Hold on.
That you're consuming negativity.
I be consuming positivity.
Let's hear some. That's crazy.
I need to.
Something positive.
Maybe I need to. Yeah. What did you consume? A puppy video.
Always that. Let's get that straight. Always. But beyond the puppy videos, I saw that they're not giving us money, so I'm not gonna say their name. There's a site that we all buy packages from that they deliver to us in 2 days, and they are selling houses for $17,000 to $30,000, and people are getting these houses, and not only do they set them up for you.
Is that like those tiny houses?
Yeah, but they're like regular size. Like that might be one level. which is fine. And people are renting them out. And I was like, wow, that's so amazing for you to be able to get a house, even if it's through your company, or get a loan and you rent it out, and now you're making money back, and now you become your own boss. That was something that I thought was super dope.
Think about putting your toe in that water.
I mean, we'll see. I got to learn more about it before I try and dive in.
Passive income.
It is passive income. I saw another video where I've been watching this reality show called Love and WWE. Bianca and Montez. Shout out to Bianca Belair. Shout out to Montez for WWE. Friends of the show. And
friends of the potty.
They're not friends of the potty. Nobody's friends of the potty. That's disgusting. So their reality show had no salacious content. Not saying that I'm above salaciousness, because of course I consume it like everybody else, but I try to consume more positivity. But anyway, their show, towards the end, they were showcasing what they had done for WrestleMania. And Bianca, her WrestleMania entrance, she hired a Compton black girl dance crew to do her entrance at WrestleMania 39.
Look at
and
that.
It was so massive because these were little black girls. They got a chance to be seen in front of 80,000 people in person and millions all around the world. And it damn near brought a tear to my eye because one of the girls, her mother passed away right before the performance. And she still went out there and showed off. And it showed me like, wow, that's big. Another thing that I consume that was positive.
Jesus, where are you finding all these positive people to follow?
It's in your algorithm. All you got to do.
Send me the algorithm.
It's the algorithm, bro.
My algorithm be trash, man.
This dude,
maybe that's why I'm so miserable.
And you gotta really dive into that, man, because
I have to look into that. I've never thought about it until you said it. Like, where's the last positive video I seen? I don't know.
So think about what you just said. You never thought of it until I just said it. Think about how people are online.
Mean.
People are the exact same way. The people who leave comments on our show are some extremely dope people. The people who don't leave the comments are probably people who are like, man, if I say what I want to say, they're going to eat me up in these comments. And people have eaten people up in the comments when they say something crazy to us. Right. So you got to think, people who are negative leave negative comments.
They do.
And those are the people that are miserable inside. So why even try to understand them when you already understand them? They're not consuming anything positive. Their only outlet is negativity. That's why those are the people. You ever had those friends? You got a fresh outfit on, and the first thing they say is something negative about the outfit.
Oh, you think you cute?
It's because they're not. They're first of all, they're jealous because they're like, oh, he got something new. I ain't got nothing new.
Right.
I need to have something new. Let me knock him down. Or the friends that say this. The friends that say, hey, you know it's all love. I just got to bring you down a little bit. No, you don't, because you're not. That's not what a friend does. A friend tries to bring you up.
No, and I definitely hear that. And I don't want to say like I'll be tripping off the comments or whatever, but it's like, does that say something about me as an individual if I'm just consuming it? Shut up. I don't mean to I didn't ask Club Straight to do this. Like I'm like, I don't know, man. This stuff, the content just be coming across.
Here's what you get.
We got to find a happy median on how to respond. Or maybe we just don't touch the stuff that we feel is negative. Maybe you're right.
But here's the thing also.
Change.
I need to change. Shannon Sharp, his podcast is extremely positive. When I said I want you to watch other episodes, is because I don't want, and he deserves that spike because of all the positive he has spread around. But it's kind of annoying when you see a brother build this podcast from the ground up with nothing but great interviews. Right.
Yeah. And then everybody talking about. Yeah.
And the one interview that takes it over the edge is the interview where this brother is talking where he has Cat Williams on. And Cat said a lot of positive things too, but a lot of people are just pulling out the negative. So that's unfair to only give this brother views when you think it's about to be something that's like, who they talking about now? Compare it to, what is this brother talking about now? You know what I mean?
So I think and obviously, perfect way to end the pod.
Let's hear it.
Obviously, since the numbers say what they say, there's a lot of other negative people out there in the world too. So hey, I'm going to start to be the change that I want to see. So everybody out there that's just running the videos and trying to see what's going on so you could be in the know and talk about, oh, you hear what such and such said about such and such? No. Go find other videos that are positive and you can start to be the change that you want to see in others.
They're not going to do that. But here's the thing. They don't give a damn what we say. I thought you were about to say because of the numbers that we're going to be on Fridays. And I'm like, did you see here's the funny thing.
What happened last week?
The comments on last week's episode when you were like, tell us in the comments, do you want Wednesday or do you want Friday?
Yeah.
There were a couple of Friday comments, but it was a lot of Wednesday comments,
and
right?
I told you Wednesday.
I'm so glad that you even reiterated that. When you look at the episode before last week, the views are higher that was dropped on a Friday compared to the one that was dropped on Wednesday.
So basically what you're saying is sometimes it could spike on a Wednesday or a Friday.
No, that was slick. What I'm saying is people say one thing and do another.
What?
Yeah. So they're like, mind you, there might be like, let's say, being realistic, there might be like 15 comments that like, I want them on Wednesday. There are a lot of people who said, I don't care when I get it, which I appreciate. They just want to get it. Right. A lot of people, like 15 might be like, I want it on Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. Then you got maybe 4 or 5 people that's like, I like Friday, right? Mm-hmm. But the views show Friday.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you.
Are higher than the views on Wednesday.
But you just got to give it some time. It's just like anything.
This one drops tomorrow,
right?
Friday, which is going to be Friday. So we will see what happens. And
we'll keep gauging this thing out.
Here's the thing, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all our goals right now, so you know as an audience. Our goals as Justice League podcast. This is episode 37, 38.
We're in the 40s.
47. Yeah, is it 30s?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, we're not in the 30s anymore, fella.
I gotta really redo some titles. Anyway, our goal for this show is number one, we have to get every episode over 10,000 views.
We need that.
We need it to be able
to
get
tell somebody
the sponsorship that we deserve. Mm-hmm. And the only way we could do that is if you guys hit share immediately. Share it to a text. Send it to somebody that hasn't seen the show. Send it on your YouTube. Send it on Facebook. If you're listening to audio, make sure you send it to somebody. Share it. Get more people to subscribe to the podcast, because without you guys, we have no reason to do this show. And if the numbers don't grow, we have no reason to do the show. I could talk to him on the phone and get the same result.
FaceTime this nigga.
You know, so what do you want to say before we get out of here?
Nothing, man. I'm feeling good, man. Life is great. Single Awareness Day coming up next week, so I ain't got
Single awareness, is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what they call it in these streets.
You get to save some money though. I'll take my lady out to dinner. I got to spend some money.
That's gonna hit you.
That's gonna hit me.
You got. I hope you already got your reservation.
Yeah,
don't be one of those guys.
I do want to close this out by saying there's got to be something more to the story with DL and Monique, because his response was very he was angry, and then the response that Monique made via Instagram, she was also like it was very calm, but it was like, you guys have known each other too long. I would love for this to be ironed out. She also mentioned Will Packer.
I don't even think I heard that part.
Yeah.
Was it on the live?
No.
Oh, it was in the interview.
In the interview, she mentioned Will. What'd you say? All right. So she worked on the movie Almost Christmas, and she said that a whole bunch of things happened. And then she also mentioned that 2 trailers exploded. And she said, after this interview drops, I'll send a video. And I was like, that's wild. So I go to the Instagram page, and sure enough, she had a video of the 2 trailers blowing up. Here was the crazy part. The name of the company was on the trailers.
The name of the company?
The company that made the trailers, the name was on them. And I was like, I'm not going to trust those guys.
That's okay. So no, I did hear that part about the story, and but this is one thing I do want to have one last thought.
Let's hear it, man. Monique. We got all the time in the world.
I had a similar thought with Monique, and I got to keep it objective, right? Because everything that I've kind of said has been for her, and that's cool. But this is what I will say, similar to the Cat Williams interview. It's just to come on to a platform and to speak for 3 hours, because that was the average length of these podcasts, and to have
Usher's was only an hour.
You said who?
Usher's was only an hour.
That's what it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So they both did.
All right,
3 hours.
Got to get you up out of here, man. You take care of the Super Bowl.
Confession.
You going confession 8701? All right, boy, you take care of yourself now.
Got a confession for you. This interview is over. so 6 hours. 2 people. So let's just keep it on Monique now, right? For 3 hours, you sat there and you talked about everybody that has ever done you wrong in Hollywood. And I get it. That's your truth to tell. The only thing that just comes off a little, and same thing with the cat, is just like the cat interview is just like, so there's no culpability with you at all. You've just been a sterling representation. Accountability. No, culpability.
What does culpability mean?
Culpability is like, I know I used it right. Look it up. Culpability.
Let's look up culpability.
My phone ain't even. My phone.
It's not working?
Yeah, I turned it off so I didn't get no calls. Look it up. What does it say?
Culpability. Oh, culpability. Responsibility for a fault or wrong. Blame, a level of moral culpability.
Come on, man. I'm out here.
I
know
was wrong. I have culpability in that.
Hey, there you go.
See what I did?
So she takes no culpa. So there was nothing on you. So you didn't say one thing like, you know what? There were times in my career, this or that could have happened.
336 million.
You know what I'm saying? I understand she's mad about that. I'd be mad too, but I just feel like to talk for 3 hours about what everybody's done about you, but there has to be some human level to at least be like, I share in some of this, or else it starts to come off like everybody can't be wrong every time. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out. So I just wish there was just a little bit more transparency. Tell us what. I'm pretty sure there's some things that you don't want. That you're not too proud of. We all have unproud moments. So don't just come on here and shout out everybody else's and act like you ain't got none. Say what you did too, because at least it comes off as a little bit more authentic. Like, oh, okay, I get it. And then maybe we can make steps towards change. Because I'm pretty sure if you talk to all these people that she talked about, at the very least, they're going to have different accounts of different things. And even if the things that she's saying too, they might be like, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, there was a time that she might have done it. So that's my biggest thing. At least if you're going to go up there and do something like that and kind of just air everybody out. And that is your right, because that is your truth. But come on, give us a peek behind the curtain of what you do as well, because none of us are perfect. None of us are above making mistakes, and none of us are without things that we wish that we could maybe do differently in our past. So that's the only thing.
I will say accountability is a huge thing for people to give. And I agree with you in a sense of whenever you're pointing a finger at anybody, you kind of have to admit any wrongdoing that you've done, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a miscommunication. And in saying that's a miscommunication, I'm sorry about that, right? The biggest problem for people is to say that I'm sorry about something or I was wrong. Just like when I said the 336 million, that was that in reference to it. I was like, oh yeah, I was wrong about that. I'm sorry. Or when I said culpability, he was like, I used it right. I'm like, oh shit, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because I don't know what everybody's fear in saying I'm sorry is, because nobody's going to whoop you. It's not like we're children and, oh, I messed up. My mama going to get the belt. My daddy going to get the belt. That's not going to happen. It's like if you just say, I was wrong, nobody's going to beat you over the head with it. It's not about to be, hey, he said he was wrong, y'all. Yeah, let's laugh at him on 3. That's not how it goes. If you just say, I was wrong about this, I accept my fault in it, people can move on. I'm a big proponent in saying I'm wrong about something and apologizing. I think that I've seen so many people run from saying they're wrong or accepting accountability, and it's a sickness. It's a sickness in the world. It's not even just a race thing. I was at this movie when I went to Detroit in December, and there was this dude that was just talking the whole movie. And I looked at him. I was with my mom, my sister, my nephew and niece, and my brother-in-law. And I should have just said family. I just really had to think about who was there with me. And Tangerine. I was there with my family. Your fam. So I look over there and I looked at his hair. I was like, all right, bet. I can identify him and his shirt. Like when the screen got bright, I looked at his shirt. I'm like, bet, I'm going to talk to him. Because I didn't want to cuss because my family was there. Right. End of the movie, I said, hey, man, you got to talk the whole effing movie? And he was like, I wasn't talking. And I was like, you literally talked and your wife shushed you and you kept talking. That wasn't me, man. And I'm like, it blew my mind that somebody would truly deny when you hit them with the evidence. I just told you your wife shushed you. I told you I saw you talking. I can quote what you said. Denied it.
That's it. I'm just throwing it back. I'm taking it back. I've never heard you talk to anybody like that. That's crazy. Like you're such a nice guy.
I'm reckless when I get annoyed.
I mean, and me and you have even had our differences at times, and you know what I'm saying? It's gotten a little tense, but I don't think I've ever. that's crazy.
You know what?
He wasn't really pissed, but I know how you are about movies too. So
I've been to the movie.
You've kind of bucked up on me at movies and told me to shut up, but not like that. But you know,
no, you know what was good with you and I when we watch movies. We know the timing. Like you got to know when to talk during a movie. Like you and I would talk if there's a big action scene and the music is playing and you can say something right here. But if the music calms down and they're about to deliver something that's poignant to the story, nobody needs to say anything. And that's when he was talking, where like something important was happening. But beyond that, I try my best to speak calmly and to try to articulate. The only person who can get me out of my zone is my wife, like most people.
Clearly.
Your lady, your man can get you out of your zone. But right. Man, I think that's another thing about the internet and comments, man. People make up these assumptions about you based on whatever they see, right? So there's a guy, Tangerine does her show, Tangerine's Top Talent, on Tuesdays or every other Tuesday. Right. And during the pandemic, this guy comes in. And you could tell it offended me because I still remember it. This guy comes in and he was like this. He did this. He was like, and he did that. And she's like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm CT. And I was like, oh, no. I literally hopped on camera. Like I clicked in, like I was just watching the show and I hopped in. And I said, here's the thing, man. He was like, oh, man.
I'm a big fan, man.
I'm a big fan, man. You know, so I was just doing an impersonation of you. And I was like, hey, man, I was literally collecting myself as I said this. I was like, when have I ever done that? Like my question is always, because people will say, oh, you're arrogant or oh, you're cocky, whatever the case of whatever misconception they feel about me. I don't care. My thought is, if you impersonate me correctly.
Oh, I hate when people impersonate me wrong. I
get my inflections together. Get my movements. I've never done this.
Yeah.
What sound is that?
The funny thing that made me laugh was when he put the glasses on. Like the glasses, like that was funny to me.
And I was like, I've never done any of these gestures. The only thing you got me with is the glasses. And I was just like, I was trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, when have you, like, what is that? Because, and this is an important part of what I just brought up. When people impersonate you or try to do an impression of you, that's their perception of you. So a lot of times it's not about what you do. That's how they receive you.
The optics on it.
And it's like, oh, this is interesting how people receive me to do that kind of movement. Or it's like when Tangerine does me, she pokes her chest out and she walks like she walks like that. And I'm like, I don't walk like that. I video recorded myself. That's not how I walk. And it's just, that's how she sees me.
Right. It's about not how you see you, how other people see you. Fun fact. So that would make me actually want to bring this up. Yeah. I know we're going past time, but who cares? You're at home. You didn't have to drive over here. It's cool. There was a comment a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't say nothing about it. Okay. You've probably seen it.
What did they say?
It bothered me.
What they say?
And I'm going to tell you why it bothered me.
Tell me why it bothered me.
Should I pull up the actual comment so I just quote it right?
You be taking so long. Why don't, if you know you want to talk about this, why not screenshot?
Well, I want to give you I wasn't going to talk about it, but now that we're talking about it,
pull it up.
I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? So, but keep talking about other things while I look at this, and within 90 seconds, I'll have it up.
Because you're not going to pay attention to what I'm about to say. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm listening to what you said. Hold on one second. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be. You're right.
I know.
Yeah. Right.
So interestingly, first of all, everybody who's been leaving comments, super grateful for y'all, because a lot of these comments, I'm like, man, these people are really showing love. And I try my best not to be in the comments too much because a lot of that can affect me. But the comments that I'll see at like first glance, when you guys quote your favorite moments of the show, is always dope. I think I saw one that was, the last one I saw was talking about how Doughboy was so into Nicki Minaj. I was like, and not this, but
hold on one second. Okay, I'm not gonna find it, so I'm just gonna paraphrase what they said, and then we can go through it at some point. But they basically was just like, Doughboy, and they were talking to you, so I know you've seen it. They're just like, man, here goes Doughboy again. He's not getting himself together. He's a mess up. CT has it together. You want to take some notes from him. Like it was, and it was a couple of different comments that kind of said it like that. And what they, the summary of what they were trying to say is that I don't have it together and I'm always messing up and I'm kind of like this flunky kind of a guy. And I think it was the episode where you had Kane. Now I know what episode it was. It was the episode where you had Kane and you were sitting down. Remember, you were sitting down and we had started a little bit late and you had said something about me smoking or whatever. It was that episode. I know it was that episode.
Was it when I had my hair out?
Yes, it was that episode.
Okay, I'll go back and look at
the comments there. And so this is the reason why it bothered me, because this is what I deal with as a person and as a performer. So my name is Doughboy. You already know that, right? And so when I got into comedy, kind of like that was the thing, like I'm a big guy, you know, it's kind of, you remember me from taking my shirt off on stage, and that's just what it was. I was always the big guy, and that was kind of like the shtick. And then when I got to losing weight, I almost felt like I lost my superpower. I was just like, dang, that was the thing that I did. I don't have that anymore, and so like this thing that I kind of like started doing in content, what I would play like a dumber version of myself, but it was like in digital content. So it wasn't like Carl Payne playing Cole on Martin, and that's a character he's playing. It's like, this is through digital content. And so people start to really think like I'm a dumb dude, like I don't know what the hell I'm doing in life. Like people always have to walk me through life because of the character that I've created. And like, I want to get away from that because I'm just like, nah, like at the end of the day, I'm funny. Like I'm a comedian. I'm funny because I'm funny. I'm not funny because I'm a comedian. I'm not the joke. You see what I'm saying? So when people say like that, it's almost irky because it's like, they're not even seeing, not that I need to be patted on my back for things that I've done, but bro, I've been out here 15 years, grinding for this. Like I ain't nobody just picked me up and did, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's almost annoying that I come off like that, but I be needing to stop coming off like that. Did you find it yet or no? You still ain't found it?
Oh, you're talking about love the show since the first version, but Doughboy got to get ish together, too old.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, read that. Read that comment.
This show should blow up, but got to put the vision as the real goal. CT's grind is already proven. Good luck, fellas.
No, that wasn't even the one. That was one of them, but that was one of them. And there was another one that were kind of like on stuff like that. And it's just like, while I appreciate always, like, how I rock with you, bro, you're my bro, but but for somebody to kind of put it out there, like I didn't do a lot of work on my own to get to even be in a position to be working with you and doing a podcast. It's almost like insulting. It's like, bro, I came out here and really, put that work in. So I don't like that. So, but at the same time, it goes back to what you were just saying a second ago. It's how we view ourselves versus how other people view us. And if I want people to view me differently and take me more seriously, then I got to view myself differently and take myself more seriously and be the change within that I want.
No, it's not even that. I wasn't going to say that. And I hear you, and I don't want you to overthink this, but I will say, one, comments aren't real. Because I guarantee you, whoever left a comment that you were offended by, if you saw them in the street, they'd be like, oh, you know what I mean?
My boy.
With that said, I want everybody to know that this show is the dynamic of exaggerated characters of both of us. Right. With Doughboy, he's always the joke guy, and for the majority, I am the straight man, and I'm setting it up and I'm reacting, and he's throwing out all this wild stuff, and I'm reacting to it. But behind the scenes, Doughboy is the one coming up with every single topic that we talk about, because as y'all know, with any podcast I do, I just want to show up. I don't feel like doing anything except showing up and talking. So, and the way that Doughboy leads the conversations and the way that we continuously get in and out and interweave things are extremely polished. And that is because of Doughboy. We've both been podcasting for over a decade, but beyond that, Doughboy, you are someone that you've mentally and physically had your life together for a long time, and you have it more together than you give yourself credit for.
Thank you.
Don't allow people to take away genuine facts about your truth, because people will always have something to say about anything that you do, whether it's positive or negative. And if you allow them to dictate your moods, you'll never be happy. So know that you're great. Know that whether they say they love you or they hate you, that you are still deserving of love, and know that you are freaking amazing. And his life, he or she's life, probably isn't even together the way that they're saying your life isn't together. And how would they know what your life is when they only see you in increments of an hour? Unless you're doing them long ass lives that you was doing again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, we don't do that. Yeah, we ain't doing that no more. And I've definitely grown over the last year or two. And that's what I'm saying. I wasn't even gonna say nothing on, but then we were talking about, so I was like, yeah. But yeah, this was a good episode, man. This
Great episode.
You got anything else you wanna
gotta get out of here, man. But it's always a pleasure. Right, we'll be back next week. Create the Patreon so we can tell these people how to support. And
there will be a Justice League Patreon coming very, very soon, and we will let you guys know all the cool deets about it on the next episode.
Yeah, man.
I have been your boy Doughboy.
You're not your boy Doughboy. You're just Doughboy. Okay, goodbye.
Talk to you next time. Peace.